Hey, T Money, let's jump into the NFL rundown. We got Baker's situation going on in Cleveland. What's happening, man? What do you make of it?
Oh man, this is just crazy. And I'd feel bad for Baker because he is clearly one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, right? But you have a lot of these teams that, have a young quarterback or are tanking for next year or have someone under contract like Kirk Cousins, or, it's just a really, really awkward situation. I think the Browns totally did him dirty. They got a little over
Yeah.
their skis and got cocky. Don't forget where you started. When Baker Mayfield came here, you had won one game in 2 seasons. And this guy takes you to the playoffs and wins a game in the playoffs versus your arch rival, the Steelers. A year later, he tears his shoulder, clearly couldn't throw. And I don't know what Cleveland was thinking, making him go out game after game, throwing 40, 50, 60 times. But it just looked like they weren't putting him in the best situations to succeed. And it really dropped his value in the trade market. And I mean, look, you can say the same thing about Jimmy G, right? Like, what happened to Jimmy G? Why hasn't he been traded? The trade market is just not there for these guys right now. So they got to wait. I think they should release him. I just feel like they've already treated him horrible. Like, is a 7th or a 6th rounder really going to change your franchise at this point? Like, let the guy go. Do him a
Yeah.
favor. They've just
Hey,
totally ruined him, and I feel bad for him.
I don't think they've ruined him, but I love everything else you said. I love that you talked about the culture that they built and they just chopped this guy up at the knees. I agree, man. It's the way you treat people. And this guy was dedicated to this organization. Okay, he may not be, the best guy, he caused a little bit of controversy, okay? But there's a
They
lot of
needed
people
that.
that do that
They
in the
needed
NFL.
that.
Well, yeah, they probably did. And they have a chief strategy officer. Paul DePodesta is the chief strategy officer, and he's in the middle of this thing complaining about $19 million to Baker when they gave Deshaun $230 million. That's BS, man. The way
Yeah.
they're treating him, I'm not saying he's as good as Deshaun, but hey, man, there's a way to treat people. When you look, shifting gears here and moving forward, where does he go? He's done. He is out of that place, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think there's two issues. One is his contract. He's guaranteed 19 million. So if someone picks him up at that, they got to pay that. And Detroit, if you're looking at Detroit, the backup quarterback of Detroit makes 1.75 million. So why would they go get Baker? When they're not going to start him ahead of Jared Goff, even though Baker's better than Jared Goff.
Exactly.
I think he's better than him.
It's just things like that. Like Jared Goff's already making $20 million, so they can't pay Baker. But the Browns are eventually going to cut him. Let's be honest here. The Browns are going to cut him. I don't know why they're taking so long.
Well, they'll let him get claimed first if they can, because they don't want to lose the money.
Well, they're not. He won't get claimed. That's ridiculous. So he'll get cut, and he's going to go to a team. I would recommend going to the Bucs. Brady's there for one more year. You sit under the goat. You get some cachet with everyone. I think that's a great situation. Let me say this last thing, though.
That's true.
The rumors are as well, no one wants to do these Browns owners a favor because of what they did with Deshaun Watson. Not only trading for him, which is a bad look for the league, but they gave him, of all people, a fully guaranteed contract, max contract. And the rest of the owners are not happy about it. It's one thing if Patrick Mahomes gets it. It's another thing if Tom Brady gets it. When you give this guy, with all the off the field issues he's had and not even making a conference championship game, this sets a precedent that the owners don't like. So that's another reason why he hasn't been traded. Nobody wants to do this guy favors.
Hey, and on top of all that, we talked about all last year. We talk about Baker all the time, but you know what he's number one at? Making good commercials. It's good. Bring him into your city, man. You want to sell tickets in your city? Get Baker in there.
Yep. Agreed, man. He's funny on those.